Good morning, good morning. This is Jacqueline Richardson, Mr. J. Diamond, Jackie Deja, whatever y'all call me. I felt the need to get on here and make a podcast today. I want to talk about my best friend. Where do I start? A lot of y'all read the book. And a lot of that is true, except for the sexual parts of it and the us coming together building a business, which I had told y'all when I had the radio interview. However, I was here just thinking about how much he really means to me. I was in a very mental abusive relationship. I had no family outside of my mom, because I don't have cousins, and I do have one cousin, but they never come around too often. I don't have any sisters, and my brother is always only God knows where, and most of the time it's just me and my kids. And, I got pregnant with Egypt. In the process of getting pregnant with Egypt, I got sick, which I spoke about, and almost died. However, God, He saved me. And during the process of me giving birth, going through postpartum, almost dying, my daughter's father hurt me so bad. The hurt was unbearable. But then God opened up the door for me to meet Riel. At the time, Riel was young. I knew his family, his mom, his brothers, and it wasn't a fit. At least I thought it wasn't. His mom told me, she looked at me and she said, "Take care of my son." I just looked at her like, huh? I didn't understand what she was trying to tell me. Every time I had a mental breakdown, he was there to uplift me again. To push me. To fight. He gave me strength to battle bad relationship that I was going through. And the more strength that he gave me, the more my daughter's father broke me down. I'm sorry, y'all. I got tears in my eyes. I had nobody else to talk to. nowhere to turn, he would pick up the phone because he knew I needed him. Just to listen, just to be there. He was my private friend. He's never tried to come on to me. He's never asked me for anything. He was just there when I needed somebody. I took my mom to meet him. And I said, "That's my friend, Mom." And she was like, "Well, where did you meet him from?" She wants to know everything about his background. And this is the thing that I disliked about my mom. You know, she always wanted to get into the statistics of everything. And I told her, I said, "Mom, this is what he does. He's a good person. You know, he talks to me. He helps us, you know, get through mentally. Help me, actually, not us, me. And my daughter." She didn't understand. You know, she told me to stay with Eric. But I was too embarrassed to tell her the things that this man was doing to me. But I still held on, hope and praying every day that it'd get better. North Carolina, I know y'all want me to stay here. I wanted to stay here too. It's a beautiful city. They have built the city to be one of the most beautiful cities ever, I think. But I have to go and help Riel. Not only help Riel, my family too. They need me. They don't want to be here. Well, for one, you know, I know y'all wanted Riel to come down here, but he has businesses. And that's how he survives. You know, he could possibly come to visit, you know. But outside of that, his businesses is how he survives. You know, just like some people go to work every day, he works for himself. And he's always worked for himself. That's what his parents taught him. He's a real good person, y'all. I gotta go eat. I'm hungry. I know you hurt my stomach. But anyway. But I just, you know, I sat here and I was just thinking, you know, all the times that I was down and, you know, mentally, you know, people don't realize how important your mental health is, you know. And what it can do to destroy your life. Especially when you're in a relationship where people only think about themselves, you know, and not sit back and look at the reality of life. You know, we don't get to choose our parents. We don't get to choose how we're raised, but we do get to choose how we live. You know, and that's the beauty of life. You know, we don't have to be what our parents were. We don't have to be looked down upon because of the color of our skin. Even though we work really hard, you know, colored people, even Hispanics, we work really, really hard to be something. And this is why, you know, I help the youth. You know, if a lot of people want to know, you know. When I was introduced to Riel, it was funny. As time went on, you know, I would come around his shop, and he'll be busy, so I couldn't talk to him. I might be feeling a little down, you know, but he wasn't the one that allowed me to, like, be around him and his friends. You know, he'd tell me go home, or I'll call you, or I'll talk to you later. And I didn't understand why. As time went on, now I understand. His parents taught him to value women, you know, especially when he sees that a woman should be valued. And that's what I learned from a lot of the things that he did. I didn't understand, you know. And don't get me wrong, he didn't have a perfect life. Because for people that don't know, it's harder to own your own business and succeed than it is to have a job every day. Go to work every day. You know, whether people know it or not. He knew what I was trying to do for me and my son. He didn't know nothing about the music side of things. You know, even though, you know, he was a boxer, he just knew he was in the entertainment business, you know. And with sports, things are a little bit different than the music, you know, because the money is real. I'm not saying that the money is not real with the music industry, but there's some flaws there, you know, and some of these music artists have made it to where there's flaws, you know, and that's just the reality of it. However, being in sports is a little bit different, you know, especially boxing, you know. However, I understood, you know, a lot by watching him, you know. He had hobbies, you know. Most of the time when I talked to him, he was alone, you know. Sometimes he just wanted to rest from being around people, you know. And I get it now. I get it, you know, because when you are always shining, especially for your state, your area, you know, people are always going to be attracted to you. You know, you got the ones that come around because they just want money. You got the ones that come around because they just want fame. You got the ones that just come around because they just want to be there, you know. But no one really loves you. Okay? And that's just the truth of it, you know. So we built a relationship, you know. And it wasn't no sexual. It wasn't where we would always go hang out, and it wasn't none of that. I never cheated on Eric with this man, okay? And that's what I wanted everybody to know, okay? But he was there, a phone call away, when I was put down, when I was, I would work hard, and be put down, and I just didn't have nobody to talk to. I didn't understand why this man was putting me down, and I worked so hard. But then this other man will uplift me and say, well, you doing good. You're working, you got this, you got that. I remember I had broke up, and I think this is in the book. I had broke up with Eric. He left me. And my brother was there. And Riel wanted my brother to come work for him because my brother's in mechanics as well. And my brother really didn't want to because he needed to help me watch the kids so I can go to work. So he was trying to figure it out, But anyway, my brother said, Riel had came to my house when I was at work. And my brother said Riel had said to my brother, is she okay? Does she need a car? And my brother told him, you need a car for what? Because her boyfriend left, And my brother said that was all her stuff, not his. He didn't understand how hard I really worked until that moment. He said, my sister already got 2 cars. She don't need another. She can only drive one. So I've worked hard all my life, But I've always needed someone to help me with my kids, and that was the problem. So I can work to do for them, I'm the type of person, I don't ask nobody for nothing, unless I really, really need it. And it's hard, for a single mother. But I've seen that God has stopped my family from being with me, and it's beyond their control. The ones that would help me, it's beyond their control, and there's nothing that they can do about it. So I have to make this transition, and hoping that this transition and my next project, which includes Riel, flourishes. Now I don't have relationship issues to talk about with him anymore. But now we can talk about other things, about being successful. His next project I'm not really fond of, however, I'm going to stand by him 100% on it and be there for him no matter what. It doesn't end, people. That's the thing I don't know about being in the spotlight, being a pro, being a business owner, being, how can I say it? Not everybody gets the spotlight, but still get the fame, Some people just get it locally. Now, his local is 3 states up there, And me, I'm a little bit more, because I've been running around, living here, living there, you know. But he has some success. And it's a lot of people out here just like him, that's had a lot of success, and you know nothing about them, unless someone present them to um, the world, you know. And that's pretty much why I wrote the book, to present him to the world, because he needs to be known. Because he's a good person, you know. And that's what we need more of, the good people being known. And the reason why is because it would give the youth an outlook of what life really is on the ground. See, everybody want to be a star, but don't know half of the things that these stars do and half of the things that they do to get there. But the real stars, they don't tell you about how they don't even indulge in drugs. They don't even indulge in half of the things that y'all hear these rappers and singers talk about. And it's called discipline, because you know that this is your livelihood. This is your lifestyle. This is how you live. This is how you eat. So now it's time for some of those people to come into the light, so the kids can see the truth about what really goes on in this world, and not just what they see in their area. Do y'all think that Jersey was wrong for giving him a gym so we can complete our mission and our dream? No, they weren't. Because they saw a dream that can really happen. Especially after watching me work the city of Charlotte. They seen something that Riel probably couldn't even see. Sometimes God has to strip you of everything for you to see your worth, who you are, you know. Like, I was so angry, y'all, because I didn't have nobody to help me take care of my daughter, And these jobs, they want you to break the law, hurt your family, and everything for them. And I said to myself, I'm just not doing it. Of course, what happens if you don't have enough money to survive? You fall apart. But I'm not mad about it, because it's taking me to another opportunity, which I should have already been left for that opportunity. But I tried to make it work here in Charlotte, But these people don't see the reality of real life. What they see is these stars, so-called stars or famous people, putting up a facade of what their life is, and it's not really true. And then they look at people like me and say, and this is why the kids love me so much, if y'all want to know. Because they see the reality. They see me go out there and make the videos and then post them on social media. They watch me make a song. They watch me go to work every day. They watched me, Even though the relationship is over, but they watched me in a relationship. They watched me cook, clean, teach. I didn't hide from them. If I was going through something, they knew it. Just like they would come to me for advice, I went to them for advice as well. Well, guys, this is y'all era, so how do you do this? Because I'm puzzled, and they give me the information and advice. And they may come to me and say, Jackie, how do you do this? Because my parents ain't teach me this, and I don't know. And I'll tell them. And that's how I connect with the community, the youth, You lead by example. You don't tell them that they're totally wrong for everything they've done. You explain to them what looks right for their long-term success. How it can destroy their lives long-term. I ran into a lot of kids here that played sports in high school. Because sports is big here in the South. Because that's their activity. So they don't know how it is, like up north for you to be in sports and do good at it. It follows you for the rest of your life. And it follows them here as well. But they don't take it as serious. Because they see so many failures. It's like, I'm just a pick of a litter. But you got to remember, to have a football team, you got to have, I don't know how many players. What is it? I don't know, y'all. But you got to have a lot of players on the team. The same with basketball. You gotta have a lot of people on the team. But the thing about boxing and tennis, it's just you. But there's gotta be opponents. So in order for these organizations to keep running, there has to be opponents. You can't look at it as, I'll never go nowhere because I'm not top notch or as fancy as this person, or I'm not going to make any money. It's not true. And that's what the TV teaches us. But if you keep working hard and doing other things that may be fit for you, you can get there. I'm tired of seeing how people lose hope. A lot of the older generation, they lost hope. They just living, waiting to die. And I'm going to just give it to you straight. A lot of the old people, a lot of the older people. This is what I see from them. And I'm talking my generation. They are so mentally messed up. We strong in my generation, but their minds are just destructive. Everything is destroyed. If it's good, destroy it because it's too good to be true. And I believe that's what happened in my relationship. He had the perfect woman with the perfect careers. But it was so good to be true that he needed to destroy it. Like, I'm living in a fantasy world and this can't be true. And some people think like that, you know. But that's one of the reasons, too, why I personally don't tell people what I do, what I've done, or how I do things, because you never know why a person is in your life. You know, some people come just to hurt you, you know, and just to say that they was in your presence and have done so much to you, you know, just to gain your fame and your who you are, just to tell other people's stories. To make them look good. This is what people do. This is why we don't tell people who we are. I work very hard, touching base with the kids in the community. And it don't matter what community I go in. I do the same thing in every community. I watch, I learn, and connect. And it's a job, whether people know it or not. Even though I do it for free, it's a job. Okay, a job that is overwhelming sometimes. You wouldn't believe some of the stories that I hear, you know. And then when I connect it, you know, and I be like, they were telling me the truth. That's why I never say a child is lying to me. And that's why they're able to open up and talk to me. Y'all see what I went through. Y'all read my story. The faith to forgive. And wounded, survive, and thrive. Even though I forgave my parents, they still scarred me. And it made me weak to certain things. Because of what they've done. You know, my mother used to always, she'd say to me, Jackie, I'm sorry. You know, I'll never forget, you know, my husband, that would be Mark Richardson, ex-husband. He called my mom one day, I'll never forget it. We was in Buffalo, New York. And I just bust out in tears and just kept crying. I guess I was having a breakdown. And he said, what's wrong? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about my brother, because every time like Halloween and fall comes around, I always think about my brother, my little brother, Mikey. And I just bust out in tears. And he called my mom and he's like, what's wrong with her? And see, he didn't know the whole circumstance, because, you know, I never talked about it. You know, there's some people that knew that my brother died, but they didn't know how, why. They didn't know nothing, you know. However, he got on the phone with her and said, well, I'm her husband and I need to be able to console her, and I don't know how, because she's fighting this battle and I see the pain. So I guess she said, you know, let me talk to her. And he gave me the phone. And all she kept saying is, Jackie, I'm sorry. But just please let it go. But I couldn't. The pain was just so deep. It was so deep. And before she died, she said, Jackie, go ahead and write the book so you could be relieved of that pain. And I didn't write the book. I wrote a portion, the part that hurt me the most. Shout out to the National Association for Professional Women and Millie McGee Morris. They brought it out of me, that pain. And now that the world knows, it does feel a lot better, but it'll never go away. So when I stand before these children that's going through different things, they see the pain. And that's why they are attracted to me. Okay, and I'm not saying attracted to me like they like me, sexually. I'm saying attracted to my soul. Because they see the pain. Even if I'm smiling, they can see the pain. The pain of struggle. The pain of fighting. I deal with people every day of my life so jealous of me because the kids love me so much. Even when I used to work at Amazon, the kids would come and they would just be around me. Miss Jackie, Miss Jackie, I've been looking for you. Where you been? I ain't seen you. I needed to talk to you. And, some of the women would be very jealous. But they didn't understand that I could feel their pain and they can feel mine. And that's how we consoled one another. That's how I was able to touch base with them, keep them strong, keep them wanting to work and be there and fight. The same with my kids here in Charlotte. I give them the will to fight. And while they're fighting, they see that they win. They create happiness. I tell them all the time, you're going to always love your parents, but that don't mean you have to be like them. You have a choice. And the things that they've done wrong to you, it's not all the time because they was just mean or evil or just didn't know or stupid. It's because nobody taught them. How to be a parent. Even being a single mom, we fight the hardest, but God doesn't take away our motherly duties. It's because we're a single mom. We still have to do them. We have to provide financially. We have to teach our children. We have to protect our children. That's just what God lined us up to do. The men get to walk away and say, they're going to start another family somewhere else. And forget about their children. But can we do that as a mother? No. We can't. So I say all of that to say, when we look at these ailing kids, I'm tired of helping men. You see what me helping my daughter's father got me. So we decided to help the youth so they cannot be like those men, those bad men. We don't even want them to touch base on that negativity that these bad men is putting out here in our universe. We don't even want them to get to that point. So we're going to build them young. So we will have better fathers and better men within the next 20, 30 years. All the negativity, the cheating, bringing home diseases to your family, being selfish financially, using drugs, alcohol, putting that first. Because I'm not saying it's bad to use. Some people need the marijuana to calm their nerves. Some people drink on occasions. But knowing when and how to do it and put your family first. That's the key to life. And we're working hard to make sure, and it's a lot of us out here. I take my hats off to y'all because I haven't been doing it by myself without some of you people on Facebook, some of the people in the community watching. Some people, adults, have watched me to learn how to connect with the youth. So I'll take my hat off to y'all as well, because I can't do it by myself. But we got to keep going because I see it's working. These kids are taking responsibility for their actions. They're taking care of their children. They're working hard every day. They're trying to beat anxiety and stress. Some of them have made mistakes and trying to figure out, how do I get my life back up? And we're working with them every single day. If it's not through Facebook, it's by showing them how it can be done. And you don't have to be weak-minded and settle. So that's my goal now for up north. I didn't want to go back up north. I hate the cold, y'all. I really do. I hate the cold. Ooh-wee. And I'm dreading it. However, I have to make this move. I'm going to be with family, And I'll get to have my big Thanksgiving dinners with my family, all together. I get to have time with my friends. I get to, work with some of the youth up there. So I got some challenges coming, I'm going to be sad, but I have to make this move. When God presents something to you, you have to go for it. I should have been left. But, you know, the hope that the relationship I had would work and would, it was just going through a storm. Once I got the healing from that, I was able to see a little bit clearly. You know, then once I was able to see clearly, I needed a new car. I was just going through it, y'all, you know, piece by piece. And it's, you know, it's, sometimes we just go through things, you know, and we try to stay focused, but it's hard. We're doing so much, you know. Some people can put it into music, you know. I'm not one that can. You know, I'm not one that can write songs about my sorrows. And, you know, I was looking at social media, and one of the people was saying how, you know, oh, write a song since you feel in a certain kind of way. I don't know. I can't write no sad song about how I feel, and you know, this is just not for me. You know, I gotta write either something with leadership. You know, it's hard to explain. Writing is not as easy as people think it is, and I'm gonna just say that. You know, I prefer to write books than to write music, write lyrics. You know. But I'm not one that can do it. So I take my hat off to those that can express their sorrows in their songs, you know, and then even come out with hits from it, you know, because you know there's always somebody out here that's going through the same thing you're going through. You know, it's a big world. And all around it, somebody is going through whatever you're going through. Right now, the whole world is going through, not the whole world, but the whole United States is going through what I'm going through. The financial part of things, the economy bad, you know, and that's why I laugh. I had to laugh at somebody. They had to say, oh, are you going through this? And you shouldn't be going through that. What do you mean? The whole world is going through it. You just haven't seen it yet, but it's coming. It's coming. You know, I had the beauty of seeing it first, you know what I mean? And with a whole bunch of other people, you know? But this is just what it is. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stop. I can't stop. If I stop, I die. Literally. So I have to keep going. And that's just what it is. So anybody that thought I was going to stop, you're a fool. And I'm here to tell you you're a fool. You have to survive. Until that day that I'm able to retire and the government drops that paper, I can't stop. And even then, I probably won't be able to stop because the economy is bad. So make it make sense, people. I'm active. If I would have stayed inactive, even when I was inactive, they still had me active. Just on a certain level. So, for you people that just don't understand our what we do, it don't stop. It just doesn't stop. Life is, they banging. Life is until death do you part, okay? Just like a marriage, okay? That's what life is about. It don't stop. This is Jacqueline Richardson, Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie, Deja, whatever y'all call me. I'll talk to y'all soon.